The race is on to find alternative water sources for Nelson Mandela Bay before day zero hits. Gift of the Givers is on the ground drilling boreholes to assist communities. Founder Imtiaz Sooliman joins me now. Dr. Sooliman, good to speak to you. Not that it's a good afternoon, but incredible work that you're doing. Talk to us about the drilling of boreholes and how many people it's likely to impact.
Good afternoon, Hugo. It's more than just drilling boreholes. It's a combination of various interventions in the city itself. The boreholes started drilling. A few months ago, we drilled boreholes in 3 different schools. We've now approached those schools to have water, to spread the water. In other words, we'll run pipelines from those schools across the fence and into the community, so people from around the communities could get. Once we were visiting those schools that we had built previously, schools, teachers, principals from neighboring schools came and said they're in great difficulty. If there's any way we can help, they'll keep the schools open during the holidays. And then we started our own drilling from last week, Monday. There's been a phenomenal success with the boreholes. We put in 2 in Alpha Primary, getting about 200,000 liters a day from those 2 boreholes. But the big success was in Malabar Primary. It was in the right area, the right type of geology, the right type of rocks, the right type of water, and we hit 500,000 liters a day from that borehole. We're busy, and we just reached another 8,000 liters per day in the Jose Pearson TB Hospital. There's an emergency now to drill in the Elizabeth Donkin Psychiatric Hospital. Those patients are going to be severely affected without water. We've been called by Gqeberha Provincial Hospital as well as by Livingston Hospital, and we're going to see what we can do there. So the boreholes we're putting up, we've earmarked different areas, predominantly in the red zones, and predominantly where the rocks are good and where the water yields will be good and where the water quality will be good. At the same time, whilst doing that, drilling boreholes, and of course, just let me explain a little further. When we drill a borehole in a school, for example, in Malabar Primary School, it means 1,100 children benefit, the teaching staff benefit, and they can take the water from them to their homes where they come from. Now, there's a huge spread in that school. There's children that come from buses and from 8 different areas, as well as minibuses from different areas. And in addition to that, there's 4 informal settlements around the school that can draw water from there, as well as a formal a suburb also in the area. So that's what we try to do. We get to many areas as soon as possible, as quickly as possible, as efficiently as possible. That's the one aspect. The second aspect is, in most cities or towns that you go to, there are boreholes that have been drilled some time ago. In my first meeting with the municipality last week, Tuesday, I asked them, do you have such boreholes that have been drilled and not being used? And they came back and they found a list, and they sent teams with us to identify those boreholes. The ones that are in the perfect areas, which are practical, we already start opening them, and we'll just have to put pumps in, and we can provide water to several areas. Then whilst doing that, we got a call from the K9 dog unit to say what's going to happen to the dogs, and there's no water here, but we have a borehole. So we went in, looked at the borehole, and we opened it, and again we can spread the water. And the last big thing that has happened, of course, the other thing is we're going to be putting JoJo tanks for the municipality in all the areas that the water tankers will go and fill the water. And even in those areas where underground pipes are going to work, we're going to put the JoJo tanks there. And then a good thing happened late last week. Seribos, the salt people, called us, and they said, look, from the desalination plant, they can give us 500,000 liters a day. So with that water, what we've already got and what we're busy drilling with, we should be able to have soon more than 2 million liters of water per day as an addition to add to the city.
Well, I suppose the next question would be just how much water do we actually require? If we're able to get 2 million liters per day, how far will this actually go?
If we take it as 10 liters to a community, it's 200,000 people who can benefit, especially for drinking, just for taking medication. Of course, they can't bath with it, they can't feed the plants with it, they can't do clothing with it, but for the essential for survival, just to drink water and to take the medication and for cooking, 10 liters per person will go to 200,000 people at least. In addition to that, of course, we are targeting bottled water, which is not it's not a sustainable solution, but it's important in the emergency situation where old age homes and people from physically and mentally challenged institutions, you don't expect them to stand in the queue. That's not possible. How do they go to the water tanker? How do they go to the JoJo tanks? So we are building a list of those institutions and to give them bottled water to last them a week at a time. And we're already stockpiling the bottled water to do that. So that's the next thing. And then, of course, you asked me how much water is needed. It's estimated that 280 million liters of water are required per day. The Noise Conduct facility has about 210 million liters, but a lot of water is being lost through leaks. So now there's teams from the business sector and from the municipality to try to fix those leaks. And we're also making a call to residents. Please check your toilet system, check your tap, check your garden, see in the yard. If there are leaks, please fix them up. Every litre we save now means a litre more for tomorrow.
Now, we have to ask about the cost, Dr. Sooliman, of all this work that you're doing. I mean, it comes at a sum. Are you able to share those numbers with us, firstly? And secondly, how is this process actually funded?
It started off last week, Friday, well, the Friday before I went into the Nelson Mandela Bay Metro. At a function, I met some of my donors, spoke to them about it, and instantly, it was a sun point. They released 5 million rand to say, you can start. We work on an average of 400 to 500,000 a borehole. Now, that's not the drilling only. You know, people think it's so expensive. It's not only the drilling. It's the drilling, the yield test, the water test, the JoJo tanks, the pipelines, the tanks, the cement, the hydrology fees, the cement blocks, the JoJo tanks that go on the fees. Sometimes you get how deep you go, the type of water you find. You know, does the bird break? Does it not break, not break? All those are factors. So we say average of 400 to 500,000 rand a borehole. On every borehole that we save money, it means we earmark 10 for the beginning. We can drill another 2 or 3 or 4, depending on how much we save. JoJo tanks could cost anything between 5,000 and 8,000 rand for a 5,000 liter tank. Of course, we get special prices from JoJo themselves. They also donate to us. Unfortunately, in this last visit to Nelson Mandela Bay Metro, VW is looking at giving us 30 tanks. They've promised us 30. Vodacom 55, Coke 20, Spa 40, and other companies are coming on board. Then the desalination water is not costing anything. Celibos is giving it at their cost. And they're also going to give us 5,000 by 5 liter bottled water. In addition to that, we need tankers to carry the water. It's expensive. Coke is providing us 3 water tankers, huge ones, 35,000 liter carrying capacity, what drivers, and they will pay the fuel costs. And in addition to that, of course, they're giving us 20 JoJo tanks. And as a partnership, they're also drilling boreholes in areas not where we are, so we augment each other, and they've drilled 3 so far. So all this augmentation and support cooperation generally helps the city.
Well, Dr. Sooliman, you're running quite the operation here. Where is the Nelson Mandela Bay municipality during this entire process? Because it would seem that a huge amount of what's happening to save Nelson Mandela Bay is being run or put together by third parties, if you will.
Well, the municipality, we have to separate them into 2 components. One is the politicians, and I mean, they've been having a problem with that for the last 15 months, some people say even for 15 years, to get the system right. Well, there's no agreement, no decisions are taken, no processes are followed. People they can't buy a system, they can't spend money. It's difficult to buy things that they need. So that's the one process where there's a political issue. On the other side, we have the civil servants, led by Barry Martin, who's a water engineer, and his team of engineers. After I spoke to the municipality that Tuesday, in that meeting, of course, the mayor was there, the deputy mayor, and even the municipal manager, and other members of the council. It was fantastic. There was full cooperation and acceptance of what we were going to do without interference. And then, while speaking there, Barry Martin then said, I'd like my engineering team to have a discussion with you. And the next morning, on Wednesday, the entire team came. We worked out things together. And we said, let's share the responsibility. It's no point now discussing who should have done what, when, and how. There's no time. We have a city to save. And we said, okay, tell us, we will drill boreholes. Give us your boreholes that you got somewhere else. We'll put the pumps inside them, and we want full cooperation. It was instant. They gave us a team. They gave us the GPS coordinates. They said, here's the ball. You decide what you want to do. Then we said, and that's the reason I'm saying that is because if there's no decision in the council and no money is made available, they can't spend, they can't act, their hands are tied. So even as engineers and civil servants, they want to do something, they can't do that because there's no funding for that.